welcome back to our Breezy birthday special for BenS71287, 2022 edition, as well as our 2022 December special. We're going to keep the Super Nintendo games moving with Jeopardy. Let's see how it goes.
This is Jeopardy!
Let's play.
Here are the categories.
For the Jeopardy round, the categories are Oscar firsts, rock and roll, art, journalism. We also have U.S. history, and starts with KN in quotation marks. I'll start things off with art for 100.
The answer is...
The king of this country gave Salvador Dali a Nobel title, the Marqués de Dali de Pujol. What is Spain? Art for 200.
The answer is...
Museums in Paris and Philadelphia are named for this sculptor of the Kiss and the Thinker, who is Auguste Rodin. Art for 300.
The answer is...
This French artist's legs were the result. This French artist's short legs were the result of 2 accidents he suffered as a child. Who is Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec? Art 400.
The answer is...
German-born artist who was court painter to Henry VIII. Who is Hans Holbein the Younger? Art 500.
The answer is...
Artist George Siegel is working on a series of these inspired by the paintings of his favorite artists. Sculptures, yeah, that makes sense. U.S. History 100, alright.
The answer is...
Planned under Eisenhower, the invasion of this Caribbean island failed under Kennedy. What is, it's either Cuba, I don't think it's Cuba, so I'm going to say what is Grenada. Oh no, I think it is Cuba. Cuba, yeah, I should have trusted my first gut instinct, but I didn't think that was right. Let's try another clue. Journalism 100.
The answer is...
It claims to provide all the news that's fit to print. What is the New York Times? Journalism for 200.
The answer is...
Syndicated advice columnist whose poll indicated 72% of women prefer cuddling to lovemaking. Who is Ann Landers? Journalism for 300, please.
The answer is...
Jingle journalism promoted our going to war against this country in 1898. What is Japan? Not Japan. Spain. Rock and roll 100.
The answer is...
These girls were a comic punk novelty act before they got the beat. Who are the Go-Go's? A rock and roll for 200.
The answer is...
Waylon Jennings was once a member of this, Buddy Holly's backup group. Who are the Crickets? Rock and roll trivia for 300.
The answer is.
She was once a Beach Boy along with her husband, Daryl Dragon. Who is Tony Tennille? I'll take rock and roll trivia for 400.
The answer is.
Before Sarah smiled, they met by sharing an elevator to escape a gang fight. Who are Hall & Oates? Uh, 500. Rock and roll trivia.
The answer is.
Year in the 1950s when the Beatles were formed. What is 1959? Well done in the category. I'll take journalism 400.
The answer is.
Newsweek commented on the power of the press when Barbara Baines' dog was killed by a copy of this heavy paper. What is the Los Angeles Times? I'll take journalism for 500, please.
The answer is.
The Chicago Daily Defender and the LA Sentinel are aimed primarily at these readers, who are blacks. U.S. history for 200.
The answer is.
Following FDR's New Deal, he gave us a fair deal. Who was Harry Truman? U.S. history for 300. I'll do 1500. From 1836 to 1845, this state was an independent country. Was Texas? I better have gotten that one right.
The answer is.
In 1934, this Louisiana governor, known as Kingfish, proposed a guaranteed family income of $5,000. Who was Huey Long? I'll take U.S. history for 500, please.
The answer is.
Many consider his appointment as Chief Justice in 1801 the most important one in U.S. history. Who is John Marshall? Oscar first for 100.
The answer is.
In 1934, she became the first child star to receive an Oscar. Who was Shirley Temple? I'll take Oscar first for 200.
The answer is.
In 1988, she became the first person known by a single name to win a Best Acting Oscar. Who is Cher? Oscar first for 300, please.
The answer is.
The silent screen swashbuckler was the first person to MC the awards. Who is Douglas Fairbanks Jr.? Oh, they still took it. Okay. Oscar first for 400.
The answer is.
The star of the Song of Bernadette was the first one to win. Was the first to win an Oscar for playing a saint. Jennifer Jones.
The answer is.
Some say he was Swiss, some say German, and some say American, but all say he won the first Oscar as Best Actor. Emil Jannings. Yep, that's correct. Okay. All that's left is starts with KN.
The answer is.
A short, thick German sausage. What is a knockwurst? For 200, please.
The answer is.
It was Tennessee's first state capital. What is Knoxville? $300.
The answer is.
A trinket, a gewgaw. What's a knick-knack? $400.
The answer is.
A varlet. What's a knave? Oops. There. Last clue.
The answer is.
A hilarious joke might be described as a real one of these. What's a knee slapper? So I have $8,000 and the lead at the end of the Jeopardy round. We're about to start double Jeopardy.
Here are the categories.
For the double Jeopardy round, the categories are animal adjectives, lines, those are quotation marks, museums, ancient history, the human body, and finally, sports. All right, we'll deal with these categories. Sports for 200. Okay.
The answer is.
Sport, which scores in increments of 1, 3, 6, and occasionally 2 points. Got beat to the buzzer. Football. Yeah, I knew that one, but it was too late. Lines, 200.
The answer is.
In song, Johnny Cash line that follows, "Because You're Mine." What is "I Walk the Line"? Lines for 400, please. All. Railroad and Monopoly that fits this category. What is the short line? Lines for 600.
The answer is.
There's only one of these lines on a football field. What's a 50-yard line? I'll take lines for 600.
The answer
Or
is.
800, I'm sorry. It's been called the boundary between y'all and you guys. What's the Mason-Dixon line? And lines for 1,000.
The answer is.
200-mile-long French line of defense, which the Germans bypassed in 1940 by invading Belgium. What is the Maginot Line? Good for 1,000. Sports for 400.
The answer is.
In baseball, if a fair ball pops out of the glove of an outfielder and over the fence, it's ruled this. What is a home run? Sports for 600.
The answer is.
When judges' marks are announced for gymnastics events, these two scores are discarded. Got beat to the buzzer that time. The highest and lowest, I knew that one.
The answer is.
A phalanx that's often stubbed. What's a toe? Human body for 400.
The answer is.
On the top, off the top of my head, I'd say it's at the top of the axial skeleton. What is the skull? Let's have the human body for 600, please.
The answer is.
Strongest, longest, strongest bone in the body. What is the femur? Human body for 800.
The answer is.
It's a spherical structure about 1 foot, 1 inch in diameter with a pronounced bulge on its forward surface. The eye, yep.
The answer is.
In the average person, they comprise about 40% of the body's weight. What are the muscles? Very good. Let's go back to sports for 800.
The answer is.
Sport in which Australia might beat Pakistan by an inning and 21 runs. What is cricket? Sports for 1,000.
The answer is.
In this, you get 1 point for each stone in the house and closer to the tee than any stone of the opposing side. What is curling? I'll take ancient history for 200.
The answer is.
Though an ethnic Macedonian, she was the most famous queen of Egypt. Who is Cleopatra? Let's have ancient history for 400.
The answer is.
Reportedly blind, he opened our eyes to the Iliad and Odyssey. Who is Homer? Ancient history for 600.
The answer is.
Our word for paper derives from this Egyptian plant. What is papyrus? $800.
The answer is.
He crossed the Rubicon, a giant step toward coming to power. Who is Julius Caesar? Ancient history 1000.
The answer is.
Student of Socrates and teacher of Aristotle. Who's Plato? Animal adjectives 200.
The answer is.
When something smells suspicious. Beat to the buzzer. Fishy. Museums, okay.
The answer is.
The nightgown Barbara Mandrell wore on her wedding night is displayed on her museum in this city. What is Nashville? I'll take museums for 400.
The answer is.
City whose Museum of the Confederacy adjoins the White House of the Confederacy. What is Richmond? Let's have museums for 600.
The answer is.
An entire museum in this city is devoted to 40s movie star Carmen Miranda, as the Cariocas could tell you. What is Rio de Janeiro? Museums 800.
The answer is.
The Sturm Museum in Nebraska displays the cottage in which this Grapes of Wrath star was born. Who is Henry Fonda? And I'll take museums for 1,000. All. This New York City Arts Museum was founded by and built for Gloria Vanderbilt's aunt. What is the Whitney Museum? Got it.
The answer is
something shabby, as though gnawed by rodents. Ratty. Yeah, I knew that one, but too late.
the answer is
what you might feel after spilling wine all over your hostess's lamb chops. Sheepish.
the answer is
Stubborn. What is mulish? Last clue.
the answer is
Earth sign synonym for surly. What is berry? No, they're not going to take that. Oh well, with the big lead that I have, I'm not going to complain. Bear-ish, yeah. The final Jeopardy category is composers. Was forced by poverty to sleep in the streets of Vienna, he went on to create the creation. If it's Franz Joseph Haydn, I'm going to end up with the maximum allowed.
the final Jeopardy answer is
Yep, so I'm going to end up with the maximum allowed. See you all for the next game right after the break.